This is a 40-minute video. So Maple Bitcoin does a live stream every Friday. It's these three guys, Forrest, Jor, and Rajat, and they share this channel. They all have their separate channels. You can find them below, or you can find their Maple Bitcoin channel. They have a community on School, which is dope, and you pay like a low fee, and you get to be part of this community run by them, but mostly of other people who are in the same mindset as you are. So these guys kind of do a happy hour every Friday, but in between that time, you're able to talk with the community, ask questions, share things you're doing, get opinions, network. I kind of see it as the future of communities, and I think Patreon's going to kind of go by the wayside just because of how you can't really talk with the other people in the Patreon. So it's almost like Reddit combined with Patreon, if that makes sense. Super cool. I'll leave the Maple Bitcoin link down in the description. I think I get a little bit of a kickback if people sign up through that, which is dope. If you guys want to buy Bitcoin, I'll also leave my referral link for different exchanges. So you guys will get some free Bitcoin and I'll get some as well. So benefits everybody. But please enjoy this video, subscribe, join Maple Bitcoin, see what's up. Really great community. If you guys are new, they have a bunch of content that is aimed for teaching. And even if you're a veteran and know about all this stuff, it is crazy how much you can still learn. So please subscribe to my channel, check out Maple Bitcoin, and enjoy the video. So yesterday I was at a antique store and I picked up this. It was published, or it came out February 13th, 1970. How some Americans beat inflation. So why I picked it up is because I was honestly interested in what it was going to say, being from so long ago, and just the fact that it was released right after Nixon took us off the gold standard. So reading it, they really just say save money and give you little ways, go thrifting, kind of the same stuff they say today. So acknowledging inflation, but maybe not truly understanding what it is and why it's bad. And it's crazy that even back then, Life magazine was putting stuff out like this to kind of change the public's view on inflation and shift it away from maybe being as negative as it should be viewed as. But that was really interesting, and kind of wanted to compare inflation to what's going on with AI right now. So I'm going to switch over to the Maple Bitcoin guys, and they're going to be talking about how Bitcoin is your hedge against AI, subsequently also your hedge against inflation. So check it out.
A lot of people are worried about AI taking their job, and maybe they're right about that. Like it is becoming more and more capable and more efficient. And with that efficiency, there's a lot of knock-on effects. One of those might be the stability of your job you have. Um, and what that leads to, does it lead to UBI? Does it lead to mass unemployment? To people living on the streets because robots and clankers are taking their jobs? I'm not sure, but I think Bitcoin comes into this and is a way to protect yourself. And I think we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the knock-on effects of AI and the ultimate debasement that ends up happening because of it.
Yeah, it seems like a big theme around the world right now and the crazy thing is it's actually been replacing a lot of jobs as of late. And it seems like there's a saying in AI right now is that it's the worst it's going to be today, and it's only going to improve. So there's only going to be more and more jobs lost to AI. Which, I mean, when you think about it long term, I think it will be a good thing, but I think there will be a lot of turbulence in the meantime between then and now. And I think that Bitcoin, to me, is an anchor that kind of brings some truth to a world full of lies, it seems like. Every day I'm talking to somebody else who has been scammed, or not necessarily scammed out of money, but just like scammed out of truth almost. That's kind of how I see it. There's a lot of people who aren't really understanding AI's capabilities right now. And there's a lot of people who are really trusting anything that they see online. And I think that Bitcoin's actually going to be the thing that brings some sort of truth into the world, and brings truth back to the internet. Because if you think about Bitcoin in this sense, it's scarce. We all know that, but it actually takes a piece of the physical world and it brings it into the digital world. Because without something real in the physical world, either energy or value, you can't obtain Bitcoin, and then you can't participate, I guess, in the true internet. So I think the whole thing's going to evolve. With I'm hoping we can explore during this conversation today. But it is going to be one of those Maple Bitcoin conversations where we don't have a script, we don't have a agenda. We're just going to talk and see what happens with it. So what are your thoughts on it, Rajat?
I think one of the most powerful things about Bitcoin is that it truly protects you against disruption, right? So let's say, for example, any business is going to be disrupted by some other business that comes out with a better product, a cheaper product. You could be creating value for the last 30 years. And if this new business comes out and they completely eat your lunch, you're done, right? You're not going to get any more revenue. But the thing is that in that time, you would have earned some money. So if you have fiat, you have to keep earning money. You have to keep earning money. That's why we have cash flow. People are so concerned about earning cash flow from their assets, from their real estate properties.
So what he's saying, you have to keep earning more and more money to keep up with inflation. And now they're going to relate it basically to what's going on with AI and how it's just going to keep getting better and better. And in the future, it's going to be a problem.
You don't necessarily, you want cash flow because you want to pay for your expenses and you don't want to sell your Bitcoin, but you don't necessarily need cash flow because the purchasing power of your Bitcoin that you purchased is going to keep increasing. It's going to keep increasing. And that's value that you put away from a while ago, and you can use that value literally forever. Whereas with fiat, it's a little bit different. Where with fiat, AI can actually kill you. It can destroy your wealth. It can get rid of everything that you have because everything becomes more abundant. And I guarantee you that governments are probably going to try to use AI in some way to decide whether they should spend more money or not, right? And that's just they're probably going to program it, and they're gonna make it in a way that it always tells them, yeah, you should spend more because that's the best way to go, right? and that's just how things are. But with Bitcoin, you know that no matter how crazy your government gets, no matter how stupid their expenses get, you're protected because your Bitcoin can't be debased. With AI, with AI, the production of everything increases, and we were talking about this before. Productivity increases, supply of everything increases. I guarantee you that at some point, the people who have rental properties today, their properties are going to be debased because we're going to find some way to make better properties and more properties, and we're going to find a way to dig deeper into the ground to make condos, for example, right? But if you have Bitcoin, nobody can change that.
So this is the idea that technology just gets progressively cheaper. And theoretically, an iPhone would be getting cheaper every year or better. So I guess they do get better every year and sometimes stay the same price, but they've consistently gotten better and gone up in price. So that's a problem of inflation being way too much compared to the rate that technology is being developed, I guess. And it's like, wow, when you really think about it, you're like, we all see how fast technology is progressing, but then you also see how much most technology is becoming more expensive for everyday consumers. So you have to almost draw the conclusion in your head that, wow, our money must be getting debased so bad that even though we have technology development, this force kind of pushing prices down, inflation is so bad that prices keep going up.
No matter what happens, there's only going to be 21 million. And that protects you against AI because AI is increasing productivity and you can't keep up as a person because the world will always get better and better. And your personal labor will always be debased because of AI, but with Bitcoin, you're protected.
Right. So if you save everything in Bitcoin, you're not being debased. And you're beating AI at this point. So people who hate AI and hate Bitcoin, you kind of have to choose your struggle a little bit better.
It's the perfect counterweight is the way I kind of see it, as like they almost have the opposite properties, where Bitcoin is this first thing of digital scarcity, of absolute scarcity, whereas AI, it's not only just constantly getting better. Like, it wasn't that long ago where we had that terrible image of Will Smith eating spaghetti, and now we have these crazy realistic body cam videos on Sora where you can just continually swipe and see new very realistic, where you have to take a double take, and if it doesn't have that watermark, you might get tricked by this if you're just glancing at it quickly, right?
Has anybody else, has that happened to anyone recently? I think what he's saying is right. You used to not be able to get fooled so easily. I mean, only your grandma would be fooled by some of the stuff that used to come out, but now the Sora stuff, you're watching body cam footage, and then you actually have to go into the comments to see if it's real or not, which is insane. You used to be able to tell, and now that people our age are not able really to tell the difference between AI and actual footage, it's crazy what's gonna come out of this.